Stephanie Perry, and I'm really excited to hear about her story. Y'all are gonna love this. So you probably gonna want to take notes and get all this goodness because she has some really interesting tips for us, you all. But she actually quit her job as a hospital pharmacy technician so she could travel the world on her savings. So check this. She visited 12 countries in 12 months with $1,200 a month. So she likes the number 12. And now she is a year-round house and pet sitter. So I'm really excited to have her here so she could tell us all about how she's doing this and on $1,200 a month so y'all understand that traveling does not have to be expensive. So please join me in welcoming Stephanie Perry. How are you today?
Thank you. Hi, I'm great. I'm so excited to be talking with y'all today.
Yes, we definitely are too. We have so many questions. But before we get started, why don't you just tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
I'm from Delaware. We're neighbors, I think, right?
Yes, not too far. I'm in Maryland.
I'm from Delaware. I was a hospital pharmacy technician, like you said. I loved traveling, but it was always just something that I could only do on vacation. You know, I had my 10 days of vacation every year, maybe 15 days. And that was it. One day I went on a trip to Brazil for my birthday and I met some people who were there for a long time. And I was like, how can you afford this? We're staying at the same place. I know you're not rich. And they told me, you know, I quit my job. I'm traveling. When I run out of money, I'm going to go back home and get my job back. And immediately I was like, okay, me too. Immediately.
Wow.
And that's when I was introduced to the idea that you can travel on a budget and you don't have to have a trust fund. You don't have to be independently wealthy. Because I didn't really realize how much of the world was so inexpensive.
Mhm.
Once I was introduced to that idea, I just started finding ways to travel and work, whether that meant coming back home and actually going back and getting my job back, which I did,
Okay.
or now making money as I go so that I can keep on keeping on.
So what if somebody's like, look, I just can't go and come back and get my job when I feel like it. And, like my job doesn't work like that. So I either need to go and have the money or I need to find some other way, to maintain that lifestyle. Like what would you suggest for them?
I met so many people who were making money as they go that I started trying to figure out, how do you do this?
Hmm.
Because so much of the world can be like that $1,200 per month that I've been traveling on and did travel on. You can live nicely in so much of the world. And that $1,200 a month, $300 a week, you can make that online. Being a native English speaker means that you have a skill that a lot of the world wants. So you can tutor people in English online. You can go actually walk into restaurants in a lot of the world and offer free or offer lessons for money. Restaurants and hotels,
Mm.
especially in up and coming tourist areas. And so you don't have to feel like so just because you have the security of knowing that your job will take you back, which it has,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can't go. Because more than likely, once you go, you're probably not going to want that job back anyway.
So talk about that because I think it's so interesting. You had what we call a light bulb moment or an epiphany when you met the other tourists. But what was it about you that just said, you know what, I want to leave and I'm not coming back?
I think it was just a pull. I just wanted to see a lot of the world. I knew that the idea of waiting for retirement to live just seemed backwards. It just seemed like it was a setup. It was a scam. It was just designed to make you work yourself until your body was broken down and then try to enjoy life.
Mm-hmm.
No way, no way. That's not for me. My parents, my dad retired pretty young, but my mom retired at the standard age 65. I think she was 65. And then we took a nice vacation and she was, she could get around, but she had aches and pains. And I'm like, wait a minute. She worked all this time to be able to enjoy herself. And now she's supposed to do all that living, all that 50 years of work that she did. Now she's supposed to make up for that by having fun. Well, she's tired, and every time we sit down, she nods off and falls asleep, and. So I was like, there's got to be another way. And thankfully, thanks to the internet, there was enough people sharing information about how they were traveling on a budget, and I just knew that this was going to change everything for me.
So what are some of the things that you learned about yourself?
I learned, I think the most striking thing is I learned how much I trust other people. I talked to a woman I have a YouTube channel. I talked to her on my channel not too long ago, and she was saying how she felt when she traveled, that she was a different person, like, you know. And I think that I've seen that I kind of put on a personality that isn't really me, you know, when I'm out and about. And so I learned how much I trust other people. I've had people stop what they were doing and help me for no good reason out of the kindness of their heart. And I've accepted it, right? Instead of saying no, which would be my normal reflex.
Yes.
Like, don't help me, don't even talk to me. You're a stranger, I don't know you. Instead, I've been so open to other people, and that's been wonderful, because that's when the good comes in, the light comes in.
Absolutely.
From being open to other people. I've also learned that I don't mind making a mistake and trying something and getting lost and messing up. That's been fun. It's been fun because you know, some of those mistakes.
So not here. Listen, you try to get lost and make mistakes here, there are repercussions. There's all, you know, there's all kind of problems associated with it.
But yeah, you get to just try. You get to just try stuff and see what happens. Some of it's just a good story, you know. So sometimes you just end up with a good story. So yeah, I've learned to be more open to I've learned that I am more open to other people than I thought I was. And I learned that I am real good at trying things. And I didn't think I was. I always thought no, I'm not doing that. I used to say that exact sentence all the time. My mom would say, you know, she'd be like, let's do whatever. I'm not doing that.
Wow.
But I learned once I got out of, change my environment, that, hey, I can do it. I can try. We'll see.
So is it something that, do you think that you really didn't know who you were until you left?
Yes. And I know that sounds kind of strange, I think.
No, it doesn't. You know, this is a current theme that we're hearing through all of our interviews.
Okay.
It's current.
Okay, good. That makes me feel better, because I didn't leave like looking for myself. I didn't leave like on some journey on Eat, Pray, Love, trying to find myself. I felt like I thought I knew myself.
Yeah.
But I have learned who I really am underneath all that other stuff that other people have put on me. You know, you get to take off layers and layers. And so, yeah, I do feel like, at least I know who I am today. You know, I know this person, and I'm not the same person who in 2014 was on the edge of the bed, like, ugh, I can't, you know, I don't want to go to work. I'm mad I woke up, you know, mad I even woke up this morning because I don't like the life that I'm circulating in. But I didn't realize that was the problem. I thought it was just the job, right? Or just the money, or just, you know, the no children. That was my thing. But it wasn't that. It was, I had built an entire life that I didn't want.
Yeah, that's powerful. I hope you all really got that. And I hear that so much with so many of my clients. And that was even my reality back in 2005 now. When I was in the social work field, it's like, what am I doing? I'm not making an impact. I'm miserable. I feel stuck. Like, why am I here? So I totally get that. And now I feel like this just lightness and this freedom and that you know, that you just possess. So I think that is so awesome. And so now, you know, I really want to find out, I know all of our viewers and all of our listeners do. I want to find out, like, how did you become a house sitter? Like, what is that all about?
I love being a house sitter. I feel like it is the world's greatest life hack. It's not just a travel hack. I feel like a genius. I stay in people's homes while they travel. I take care of their homes, take care of their pets while they're away, water their plants. I haven't paid for a place to stay full time in 4 years, I guess.
Wow.
I just was poking around the internet, like, how do I keep traveling? So I traveled for those first 12 months on savings. I went back home, went back to work. I was like, okay, for this, how do I keep traveling without having money? I don't have a trust. And I post about sitting. I found a woman later, just a couple months ago on Twitter, and I thanked her. I was like, you changed my life. But I just stumbled onto house sitting. She told me where to find house sits and everything. And it just took off. So I house sit through mostly a service, but I also do word of mouth house sits. I've house sat on 4 continents.
Wow.
And yeah, and I recommend it. I recommend it. Even if you don't travel full time, even if you're just talking about taking a few vacations out of the year, house sitting is an amazing way to get free accommodation anywhere in the world, literally.
Can you provide us with the names of some of the organizations or the agencies that you've worked with?
Yes. So Trusted House Sitters is the largest. Trusted House Sitters, House Carers, and then there are small house sitting services that are just country specific. So like here in Mexico, there's House Sit in Mexico. I'm in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico right now. And there's a smaller agency called House Sit in Mexico. But even if you don't house sit through a service, it's the kind of business where you can get word of mouth. If you can get in with a local community of retirees or expats, it's a fantastic way to see the world.
Now, I'm assuming, are these people vetted? And like, what happens if you don't like the house that you're at? I mean, does that happen?
No, not to me, because I take house sits where the people have great reviews already, or if it's through word of mouth, I even go beforehand and visit the house if I'm in town, because I get to focus on certain areas. You know, I get to stay in certain towns and house sit around town for months at a time. I can go and visit the house beforehand. But if you can't do that, just definitely rely on reviews. It's just like anything else. It's like booking a hotel or anything else. Don't skip the reviews. They're crucial. And then I talk to the people beforehand. We usually do a video call. And we get clear on what they expect from me while I'm there and what they're offering me. And they give me a little info on the area if it's new to me. Yeah, so I haven't had bad experiences. I wouldn't keep doing it if it wasn't wonderful.
No, I mean, that sounds amazing. So do you like plan out, like, I want to go to South Africa, so let me find a place that I can house sit there? Or do you kind of just go where the opportunities open up?
Both. So I really like this part of Mexico. So I plan to come here, and then once I got the first month booked, once I got here, everything else fell into place. I've been here this time since October. So it'll be 4 months total. And I only got here with 1 month booked.
Wow.
After February, I'm wide open. And so I'm just waiting for something awesome to pop up anywhere.
And I'm sure I'd
like to go to Scotland, I think, for the spring. So yeah, I'm just waiting for something good to pop up.
Wow. So do most of these people, are they English speaking, or, do you have to learn the language, or do they, how does that work?
Most of my clients have been English speaking, even if they're not. A lot of them are Americans or Canadians who are retired and live in other places. But even if they're not, a lot of them are, or they're just English speaking. They have English as a second language. I house sat for a family in the Netherlands. So I haven't had any language barrier problems, but I probably just wouldn't book those house sits if I felt like it was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But being an English speaker means that so much of the world can communicate with you.
That's true.
Yeah, a surprising amount of the world can communicate with you. Is I'm glad we're not like, I'm not speaking some small obscure language where I don't know, so much of the world can just start talking, so it's much easier for us.
Have you learned any other languages? Like you said, you love that area of Mexico. So have you learned Spanish at all? Or you just like, nah, I'm good?
I have all my Spanish I speak like a 3-year-old, I think. I know all the food. I know some verbs, but I cannot conjugate a verb. I don't know verb tenses. Everything is, instead of I went to the store, I just say I go to the store yesterday. Maybe a 2-year-old. 3 is probably a little generous. I speak a little Spanish. when I went to Thailand, I tried using the app. I don't know that app that helps you with.
Yeah, you can. I know what you're talking about because I had to
Okay.
speak to my contractor who speaks Spanish, and so we're translating between Spanish and English.
Okay. So in Thailand, I picked up a few words of Thai before I went to Thailand, and people were so appreciative of that. If you know, good morning, thank you. Delicious is a word I always recommend you learn in any language, because if you compliment people in a restaurant, they might give you free dessert.
That's a great tip.
But other than that, I don't speak any other languages. It's just been so much easier because I speak English.
I love it. I love it. So you don't need money and you don't need to speak another language.
That's right. That's right. Those are some things that people think are barriers,
yes,
but they're not.
I love it. I love it. So what has been your favorite place? Because you've been to a lot of places. So what's your favorite?
Mexico is, because Mexico's our neighbor, people don't think of it as, you know, exotic or awesome, but it's amazing. It's inexpensive. They have great weather. I'm in a town now where it rarely gets above 80 in the 85. And at night, even though it's wintertime now, it's still in the 50s. Good food. I'll mention that like 8 or 10 times.
I love Mexican food, so I'm with you on that.
Great food. People have been really welcoming and friendly. I've been to a lot of the world where I just get stared at all the time, especially, you know, I spent those 12 months in Southeast Asia, all over, you know, in Thailand, it's mostly other tourists, not necessarily Thai people, but they have a lot of Chinese tourists, and, you know, Thailand and Cambodia and Malaysia, you know, but here, I mean, it's not like they don't care that I'm here. They're happy. They're happy to see me, but nobody's staring. I don't have to worry about people sneaking up and touching me and, you know, trying to touch my hair and stuff. So I recommend Mexico. And I stayed here because I house sat here for 6 months last year. I stayed here for $3,000 for 6 months total because I didn't pay for a place to stay. So Mexico is at the top of my list. But I think Portugal is another place. Portugal is a place where I can see myself staying for a long time.
Okay.
Very similar to Mexico in that they have good weather, beautiful beaches, nice people. There are Black Portuguese people, so I don't stand out.
That's true.
The language isn't so hard to pick up on. If you can speak a little Spanish, you can probably figure out Portuguese.
Okay.
And again, good food, because they're on the coast. Good food, good seafood.
I like how you think.
Yes.
Like, food is important. If we got good food, I'm good.
Priorities, yes.
Wow, that's okay. So I gotta backtrack on that. Okay. You said $3,000, right? For 6 months?
For 6 months. That's what it's like when you don't have to pay for a place to stay.
My brain is trying to comprehend that. Like, I heard you, but I can't even comprehend how that's possible.
But
so, like,
he let me have it. He did. But when Obama was president, all good. But even still, you get to see what that kind of treatment feels like just on a daily basis, because people really do just see you as an American. It's strange even to me, but it feels good for a time.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that just makes me think of, you know, places where I've traveled, and that's true. That is where I felt my privilege come out. I remember when I was in just little stuff, like when I was in Nigeria and they tried to charge me for the bathrooms. I was like, I don't pay for bathrooms. I'm American. What are you talking about? Go, just go. Because I was about to just have a fit. Like, you trying to charge me to use a bathroom? Are you crazy? Just go, ma'am. Go.
You're gonna ask to speak to the manager next.
Right, exactly. I really was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so that you're right. Like, it just automatically, and we don't even realize that, even as, you know, Black people, even though we don't get the white American privilege treatment, we don't realize how privileged we are as Americans until we leave and go somewhere else.
Correct.
So yeah, I'm glad that you said that. I think that is an excellent point. And yes, if you want to rock your American privilege, leave.
It's true.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, this has been fascinating. Jessica, you have any other questions? Like, I feel like I want to go back to the house sitting, but I'm just waiting to get on the website and start looking. So,
No, Stephanie, please tell us where we can find you if you have any contact info. I heard you have a YouTube channel there, so if you could tell us a little bit about that and give us your contact info.
My YouTube channel, we are kindred spirits, you two and I. My YouTube channel is helping Black women who are experiencing burnout take time off of work to travel. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/Stephanie Perry. I talk about taking a sabbatical. I talk about house sitting, how to get started house sitting. We're on the same mission. We're on the same mission.
Yes.
I want Black women to live their lives. Live, honey, live. And so that's it. So you can find me on YouTube there. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Vacarious. My blog originally was a way for you to vacation vicariously through me. So I called it Vacarious. But I don't want you to anymore. I want you to actually go. So you can
have your
find
own
me
experiences, right?
Vacarious. Do it for yourself. See it for yourself. And before it's too late, whatever that means, before it's too late for you, while you still have the time on this earth, go see it. Go see it.
I love that. Stephanie is like, live your best life right now. There is nothing stopping you. You don't need no money. You don't need the language. You don't need a plan. Just figure out where you're going to go to the website and leave.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. I love it. And on that same accord, if you are one of our spirits out there and we just haven't met yet, if you have a story to share with us, go ahead and share your story by going to Black Women Leave America. We would love to have you on the podcast. Make sure you purchase our merch. We have it on wherever we are. I'm in Starbucks, but I still wear it. And let this be a lesson and a message to all of you, right? I'm in Starbucks doing this interview, and guess what? We're gonna get out there. We need to do what is on our hearts and make it happen, regardless of whatever barriers we're trying to put up. Like you said, to your point, Stephanie, the only thing that's stopping us is ourselves. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye, y'all.
Oh, did you want to say bye? I was gonna leave it at that. Okay, peace. Black Women Leave America. Peace.